Hi, welcome to my first stash video of 2019. I know it's very early in the season, but I've got quite a few bits left over from bonfire night and some extra bits as well, as it's my birthday coming up soon, so I am off. So we're going to do quite a big display, just because it's any excuse to set off some fireworks basically. So I'll run through some of the smaller bits that we've got here. These are all category 2. They're all purchased, as you can see, from Epic Fireworks. These are all various brands and guises under the Epic name. So we've got Eclipse from Marvel Fireworks. It's a 16-shotter. I like these little 16-shot cakes. I know Celtic do a nice set of 6, all 16-shotters. This will come into the same sort of ilk, really. So it's category 2. NEC of 104 grams, so not a massive amount, but certainly enough, and they're all breaks as well. So you can have these obviously from 8 meters backwards, really, in terms of safety distance, and I'll probably put this one fairly close, at maybe 10 meters out for my display this year. So that's Eclipse. Then we've got a series that I haven't actually ever purchased before. So I've never fired these. The videos look okay though. So there's a set of 4 from Majestic Fireworks here. These are all 24 shotters, so slightly more, and they come with like a plastic bung, a bit like on the rocket packs that you get, which you could use to secure through the middle. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to fire them secured down. That's how I'm going to do them, because they won't be in soft ground. These ones being a bit closer to the audience. So again, category 2, 196.8 grams NEC, and then it says there the minimum safety distance, obviously 8 meters. So that's Action Zone from Majestic. In fact, I'll take this lid off and we can have a look where that circle is there and see what's going on. So, as you can see, it's a blank. You should be able to see from here. There's no harm taking the lids off. I always take the paper off the tops of these anyway prior to firing, just because the amount of debris you've got to pick up afterwards is horrendous if you're firing a lot of cakes like this with paper tops off. So you can see there where that yellow circle was, it's completely empty, but you can see if I can get a bit closer, I don't know if you can see in the light really, but you can clearly tell that there's shells in there. So that's the blank one, and you just put the plastic spike down through that middle one as it was indicated on the label. That's how you would do it. So the remaining ones in that series are Magnum Force, again Majestic Fireworks, same amount of shots, 24 shots, 8 meter safety distance, and exactly the same NEC as well, 196.8 grams. So Magnum Force, I'll fire these all together, well, one after another in a row, with them being in a little series. And I'll have an idea for which one of the 4 I like best. So then we've got Mission Control. I don't think the colours are anything to go by what the effects will be like. So 196.8 grams again, and category 2. And then the final one of the series is Spectrum Sky. Again, exactly the same NEC, 196.8, and 8 meter safety distance there. So those are the 4 from Majestic Fireworks, which I'll fire for the first time. These have been out for years. I've just never got around to buying them, because I normally get the next series, which I will show you, which consists of Skylab, Mad Moth, Dr. Thrust, and Iron Man. These are sort of my ones of choice, although these are sort of breaks, so they'll produce a lot bigger bursts than this series here. I'm more of a fan of novelty and quirky stuff that's a bit different, and you'll certainly get that with this series. Certainly with well, not with Dr. Thrust per se, it does have some unique effects in there, and it's nice and loud, but you will find some breaks in that piece. So I'd normally fire that at the end of this series of 4. So this would be my end piece really. Cat 2 185 grams NEC, so that probably have the most NEC out of this series of 4 I'm going to show you, with it having more brakes in at the end. It's 25 shot barriers. These are lovely. I don't think they'll ever stop making Dr. Thrust, because I think it's certainly an epic favourite, and it's been going for, it must be at least 10 years now. I've been buying it for, well, as long as I've known it exist, or as long as I've known Epic Fireworks exist. So that will go at the end of this series, and I can't remember which way round to do these next 3, but certainly if you watch the videos on Epic's website, you'll see that some of them tie in quite well to each other. I just can't remember which way. And even Humming Hornets, the ending to Humming Hornets has some comets at the end, which would also tie in quite nicely to this series. So it's worth looking into if you want a sort of a Cat 2 display and you want some decent varied effects. I'd certainly look into that. So I'll start with, we'll do Iron Man. That's got, as it suggests, it has got some sort of coppery iron colours to it, in the form of some comets basically, but it does have other effects. So these are Roman candle type effects, and I do like these in cakes, and I don't think there's enough of them in the market. They're, you know, more concentrated on brakes rather than sort of lower level effects. So this is 155 grams NEC, and again Cat 2, so 8 meters minimum distance, I would say. Having fired them, yeah, you don't need to be too far out on these. I'll probably film them about 10 meters, I would imagine. That's my plan anyway. Although it does say at least 15 meters, but category 2, the minimum is 8 meters for all Cat 2 stuff, as far as I know. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So that's Iron Man. Mad Moth. Having now fired Yorg's Turbo last year, realised that Mad Moth's a bit of ahead of its time. This effect obviously has been going for a long time with Mad Moth. There is obviously an alternative in Yorg's Turbo, but this is a lot cheaper and has more shots as well, as I recall. This is 25 shotter again, and it has some quite unique noise to it as well, which I think breaks up a display, and it gets people's attention as well, because it's not really what you would expect from a firework. So it's got a lovely whooshing noise to it, and not much in the way of brakes, like I said. So it's more of a whoosh than a bang, and some nice colours as well, and effects. They're sort of, I don't know, like a swirling pearl type effect. That's all I can really say. It has some showers of white and red. So worth checking out. A nice piece, and again, as part of this series, they go quite well together. And then finally, Skylab again is another Roman candle cake. Again, off the top of my head, I have seen the videos many times, I just can't remember in which way round they go, but these link in quite well. Again, 25 shots, and the NEC is 136.5 grams. So yeah, obviously less NEC there, so, but that doesn't necessarily mean any real difference in effects, because like I say, these aren't breaks and bursts. These are more Roman candle type effects, so you don't need as much NEC. And I'm told that is Deep Space Nine, whatever that means. I do like my sci-fi, but Star Trek-y stuff I'm not really too into. But apparently that's Deep Space Nine, so you can tell me if you're a fan, if that looks anything like it. But apparently it does. That's what I was told. So, another new one, category 2. We've got Blue Lights. This, I'm pretty sure, was new for 2018. So finally got round to getting one now. As it suggests, blue effects, which are very hard to film. So I suppose when you see the video, I would imagine my video won't live up to how bright the blues are, and neither will the ones on the Epic website, but I'll do my best to try and get the blues out in terms of colour, but they just never seem to transfer very well onto video, unfortunately. So again, 25 shots, similar sort of size and shape to all the others there, should fit in quite nicely. And there you go, NEC 155 grams, so Cat 2, and then obviously 8 meters. It says spectators must be at least 25 meters away. I'm not sure that's correct. That might just be a disclaimer on their part. That's 25 meters is more Cat 3 distance, but it says obviously you can retire 8 meters, so you can be all right at 8 meters. Not that you'd want to. Like I say, I'm probably going to fire this at about 10 meters, I would imagine, or thereabouts. So that's blue lights, something a bit different. And then we've got G-Force, which if you see my earlier bonfire night videos last year, I bought this. I just never got round to firing it. So it's included this year. Obviously it indicates you should place it that way to face spectators, which suggests it's a fan cake. To look at it, obviously it doesn't have the angles like you would expect, but I may as well open this one up as well. We can have a look at the tube orientation inside the cake, and it should hopefully give us an indication of the angle of the tubes and what we're to expect here. I'll leave that down there so I know which way it needs to be, because I have to label those up. So yeah, there are a couple of tubes there. In fact, there's one row I can see of fans. So obviously looking at it, you can probably hazard a guess at to which row is going to have the fan effect in, and it's the one with the spacings here. So it's not a massive angle sort of going outwards, but it'll certainly be enough with it being Cat 2, so they are going to be angled and you will notice it. So that's G-Force, 28 shots. I can't remember what the video is like for this, but it's breaks. And the NEC 152.6 grams. So they're not massive bore size. There's probably 10 mil or thereabouts, 10, I don't know, 15 mil maybe. I'm getting all my spacings wrong, aren't I? I say about 15, 20 mil. So that's G-Force, 28 shots. And then another fan cake. Again, I did fire this at bonfire night, so it is in my Cat 2 board bonfire night video. I've just not filmed it going off on its own, which I'll do this time around. Obviously, Cat 2, 27 shots, whistle mix pop, as it suggests. It's a bit of a mix of varied effects. It's got some whistle in there and obviously some pops. And it's a fan effect firework, because although it doesn't say on the label, you're going to have to orientate it that way, because these tubes are angled here. So if you had it facing that way towards spectators, you're not really going to get the depth effect, and you certainly won't know that it's a fan cake unless you've got it facing sort of that way. So if you do buy this firework, obviously remember to orientate it. So yeah, you've got straight shots, then the fan, then straight shots, fan, 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 and a row of straight shots to the end. So again, bit of variation. The kids love this one because it does different things. I think it's got spinners in as well. So it's a right mixed cake, and one that will hold kids' attention because it does different things and makes different noises. So that's in this year. And then Shrill Witch, which again, I'm pretty sure I fired bonfire night on the Cat 2 board, or was it New Year? Anyway, again, it's got some noise to it, and I think it's got some spinners. If I remember correctly, it was comparable to Storm by Celtic Fireworks, but don't hold me to that. I'll fire one singly rather than as part of a fused board, and then I'll post a video so we can have a look. And I'll probably, although I fired Storm by Celtic Fireworks again last year, I'll have to do a single video as well as that, so you can sort of compare and contrast. So Shrill Witch, 25 shots, category 2, and an NEC of 167.5 grams. So they're all pretty much of a muchness in terms of NEC weight there. There's not massive variations. They're all around the £10 per cake mark. But I'd say they're very good value for money, and even if you had a bigger display, you could fire them in pairs, and I don't think they'd look too out of place, to be honest, if you're doing a bigger display. Or you could even fire them in threes and do one straight and two angled, things like that. So certainly food for thought, and I will obviously post all the videos once I've fired them for you to check out, and you can let me know your feedback. Alright, thanks for watching.